Alrighty everyone, it is December 21st of 2019, and just a couple of days ago, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker released into the theaters by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and Chris Terrio, where a lot of fans were walking out of the theaters feeling either very mixed about the movie, or confused, or there's a lot of mixed reactions about this film. A lot of people loved it, a lot of people hated it, a lot of people in between. It's really something quite an improvement of The Last Jedi, I will admit. This is Mike Zeroh. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, in this video, I really wanted to admit about something related to the Star Wars franchise in general. This is a very important video that I actually wanted to be very personal to you guys, so, stay tuned. But by the way, we will be tapping in the spoilers here and there in this post about The Rise of Skywalker, so if you have not seen the movie, you guys know exactly what to do. Now, without further ado, let's get into this discussion. Now, everything related to Episode 9. Now, I've seen the ending of this movie multiple times already. And one thing I gotta say, and one thing I will say about this movie, is I've gone over my initial reaction, my spoilers review. They're up. You guys can go ahead and check them up. What I actually thought about the film is that there's a lot of scenes in this movie that I love and hate. And there's a lot of scenes that really make me look at the original trilogy in a different aspect, I guess, if you will, in a different way, where I wanted to go over the one scene that that I can't really adjust to, or can't get used to, or accept quite just yet. And I really wanted to talk about this. Now, at the very end of The Rise of Skywalker, spoilers by the way, in case you guys are just still here, at the very end of Episode 9, there's a segment in the movie in which we do have Ray communicating with the Force ghosts of the past. We're talking about Force ghosts like Qui-Gon, Mace Windu, Ahsoka Tano, Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, and others. Tons of Force ghosts becoming a part of Ray. And this is where she stands up, she gains the strength that she needs to take on Darth Sidious and to defeat the Sith once and for all, and to become the Chosen One. By, of course, putting the two sabers, Luke, or should I say Anakin and Leia's lightsabers, in a crossed position, deflecting the lightning right back at Sidious. Now, if you guys have seen my initial reaction and review about Episode 9, you guys will know that that was, of course, one of the scenes that I did not like about this movie at all. Not the Force Ghost segment. I love that segment where the Force Ghosts are reaching out to Rey. I love that part. But the only problem that I really do have with this movie that really kind of changes my point of view, or changes my opinion of how I feel with Return of the Jedi, is of course how Rey is the one to destroy Darth Sidious once and for all, and becomes the Chosen One in this movie, because after all she does, because she is the one who destroys the Sith. And that was one of the big things by Disney and Lucasfilm, was to rewrite history, and was to reset the franchise in a very unique way. And I think that's the one thing that really bothers me about this movie, is the fact that Rey kills Sidious so easily by crossing the two sabers together and deflecting the lightning back at Palpatine. Now, 100%, I get it. I 100%, understand that she becomes a part of the Force Ghosts, and she gets the strength that she needs. I understand that. But at the same exact time, I feel that Palpatine's death could have been a little bit more understandable. And what I mean by that is, after seeing the ending multiple times, like I said before, my feelings haven't really changed about the ending just quite yet, about Palpatine's death. You would think that if he's shooting Force Lightning at Rey, he would stop, or decide to just stop Force Lightning, shooting it at Rey, and then maybe just use the Force to push her backward, or, maybe use Force Freeze on her, or something. We've gone over all of the different reshoots and the rewrites of this movie throughout the months of August, September, and October. And in case you guys are unaware, there was going to be a segment in the film that was going to involve, Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost at one point in time, and even Anakin's Force Ghost, that would drag Palpatine's spirit into the netherworld of the Force, and that's exactly how Palpatine would die. And that was actually how Palpatine died a second time in the expanded universe. I don't know if you guys read Dark Empire, but that's how he died in the Dark Empire comic series. his spirit becomes a part of a Jedi who dies and then brings him into the netherworld. It's somewhat similar to what Disney originally wanted to do with the whole spirit aspect. And they kind of kept the spirit stuff in this movie because Palpatine talks about this, of how, you know, if Rey makes the sacrifice of killing her grandfather, his spirit will move into Rey and they will rule the galaxy as one. So, the thing about this, though, is her defeating Sidious. I feel that what should have been done is that they should have had at least somebody related to the Skywalker bloodline to take on Palpatine once and for all. And I'm sorry, I have to say, this is something that I'm very sorry, you know, about saying, is that it really does kind of make me look at the Return of the Jedi in a different way, and almost makes me feel like Anakin's legacy is a little bit altered, is a little bit changed there, because let's face it, right? The Chosen One prophecy, even George Lucas, the man himself who created Star Wars, you know, said that the entire aspect of the Chosen One, the idea of it all, is that Anakin is the one who destroys the Sith. There's nothing more than to it, you know, there's nothing more to it than that. That's what George Lucas said. It's Anakin and always will be Anakin who destroyed the Sith once and for all. And I think that's how it should have remained, to be quite honest with you guys. Now, I understand, you know, she's powerful not only because she's a Palpatine, and not only because she also becomes a part of all the Jedi in that moment, but I just feel that it should have been handled in a different way, and we could have had both Ben and Rey work together to take on Palpatine by deflecting the lightning back at him, or maybe even doing something different, right? They could have done a different type of death, in my opinion. I don't know what that could have really been, other than the original plans that they had with the whole spirit stuff. But at the end of the day, when we look at this movie, I gotta say, I love a lot of parts about this film. In no way do I hate this movie, in case you guys are getting confused. It's just that moment between Palpatine and Rey that I'm not the biggest fan of. Do I like the visual effects of that moment? Yes. Do I love the music? Yes. Do I love, you know, the destruction of the entire temple, also known as Palpatine's new throne room, after that battle between Ray and Sidious? Absolutely. The thing that I just have a problem with is how it kind of reflects on Anakin's legacy, and how it also is so very fast. The battle between Ray and Sidious goes like that. You know, it just flies right by. And I feel it could have been a little bit more elongated or handled differently by Disney and Lucasfilm. And if you guys like the ending, by the way, that's fine. We all have opinions. That's all a matter of being human, you know? So I welcome all people's different opinions below in the comments. If you guys want to say what you want to say, please do list them. But yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts about this, is that it really does change my feelings when I was watching Return of the Jedi again just the other night, you know, after seeing the ending multiple times of The Rise of Skywalker. I will say that, you know, now you look at Return of the Jedi knowing that Anakin did not destroy the Sith once and for all, and Palpatine is not dead, and Rey is the one who destroyed Sidious and destroyed, you know, the Sith entirely and becomes the Chosen One at the end of the film. Now, one could look at it in different ways, because yes, you know, the Skywalkers are a part of her in that moment, I get that, and maybe it could indirectly be Anakin who still destroyed the Sith once and for all, because he's a part of Rey in that point in time. But keep in mind that the casual viewer, I don't think would really see that per se, you know, clearly, or at least I should say more so a new fan that's just getting introduced to the franchise and knows little tidbits about the franchise here and there. I feel what they could have really done more directly is that they could have done what they wanted to do originally, was something to do with the actual Force ghosts taking on Palpatine, which was going to be a real thing in Return of the Jedi, in case you guys did not know. That was an original idea by George, was to have the Force ghosts of Obi-Wan and Yoda actually defeating Sidious and protecting Luke and deflecting the lightning from hitting, you know, Luke Skywalker and killing him. So you can see where they got that idea from somewhat, and they kind of indirectly put that into episode 9. So like I say, guys, I mean, I'm really sorry about saying this, but it really does change my view of Anakin's legacy. I'm not saying it's a dreadful movie at all in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of good things about this movie. There's a lot of great scenes in this movie. But there's also a lot of scenes that I really do not like in this film, and I went over that fully in my spoilers review. So this was the one scene that I would say, after seeing it multiple times, the ending of the movie, I should say, I really can't adjust to it just yet. Maybe I will change over time. We'll have to wait and see. So with that being said, I mean, everybody is expressing their own opinion on this. Everybody has different feelings about the very ending of Episode 9 between Palpatine and Ray, and I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about all of this below, in the comments. Let me know what you think about that, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.